As a soldier and avid DIYer, my Wave Plus is by far my most used tool. Leatherman are incredibly versatile multi-tools, but they often come with several defects you can fix easily to improve the one-handed usability of your multi-tool. At first, the pliers were closed shut so tightly that I was only able to open them with my fingernails. To loosen them, I spray a thin lubricant into the hinge. Any lubricant should work, just avoid using WD-40 or motor oil. I find Teflon and silicone-based ones to work exceptionally well. I found the best way to break in the hinge is to open and close it while bending the handle sideways to loosen it and to allow the lubricant to seep inside. Continually opening and closing it utilizes the grit and metal particles to abrade away the contact points inside the hinge while flushing out all of the gunk. If your pliers have been broken in but feel stiff all of a sudden after cutting something, it's likely a burr has formed on the cutters, causing them to rub against each other. Instead of purchasing new ones, I remove them with a T10 Torx bit and use a diamond sharpening plate to flatten them. If you don't have diamond plates, you can use sandpaper on a flat surface, which works just as well. I've done this a few times and so far the wire cutters work like new every single time. An issue that pops up every now and then after clamping tightly onto something is that the pliers stiffen up again. When this happens, I simply bend the pliers sideways to loosen them back up. Moving on to the arms or handles, at first, one handle would lock in place properly, but the other one was loose and wouldn't snap in place, so even after breaking in the pliers, the tool was basically unusable due to this issue. If you take a close look at your Leatherman, you'll see this part of the hinge rubs against this part, causing the hinge to lock open. This is what you need to adjust carefully to create just the right amount of friction. To do this, I utilize a hex nut that's narrow enough to direct the clamping power to the center of the hinge. I then use locking pliers to press down on it gently. Do this slowly and carefully to avoid going too far and to avoid damaging the blades on the other side. Here I'm using a vise to hold it simply for visibility, but it's best to hold your Leatherman by hand in the position where the pliers are as open as possible. I have to repeat this process every few months to retighten the hinge, but I use my Leatherman on an hourly basis, so it's likely you'll have to do this only once. Moving on to the blades, some multi-tools have a pin that sticks out to prevent knives from opening once the pliers have been opened. Doing both at the same time, either by accident or by dropping it, can cause the pin to stick out too much and is most likely the cause for trouble when trying to open a blade, so all you need to do is bend it back. Sugary juices that drip into the hinge from cutting fruits are a common reason for seized blades. I avoid washing my multi-tools after using them, both to prevent problems down the line and because I spend a lot of time out in the field where washing them is impractical. When this happens, I do my best to clean the hinge with a wipe and oil it to flush out the gunk and to prevent rust. When it comes to general maintenance, you should lubricate everything that doesn't operate smoothly, the hinges, and practically speaking, any parts that show wear, since those are the parts that experience friction. This helps flush out all of the steel that has worn away and the dirt that has accumulated, as well as preventing rust. I use a Q-tip or a wipe to clean and oil my Leatherman once or twice a month. For new multi-tools that haven't yet been broken in, keep in mind that any part that's lubricated will operate more smoothly, but the reduction in friction means it will take longer to break in with use. I went with the first route, but it's up to you to decide what you prefer. If you found this video interesting, check out my video on the 8 best ways to find magnets in common household items. You might find it, as well as my other videos, interesting as well.